Abdulrahman says the CIA asked him to go down to one of the largest mosques in Sarajevo, the King Fahd Mosque, which they believed was a beehive of Al-Qaeda activity. He became friendly with a suspected recruiter for Al-Qaeda operations in Iraq.
I took his name and all and gave it to them, and they said, well, this is a very good contact. You were very happy that I made this contact. They told me just to stay in touch with him and go slowly on him, and then in due time, a week or two, tell him that you want to go to Iraq. You know, that you change your mind about going back to Canada, you want to go to Iraq.
If Al-Qaeda people in Bosnia found out about you, what do you think would have happened?
They would have shot me.
Was this not at the back of your mind?
It was always in the back of my mind, and that's what I always told the CIA. You know what? You're paying me money and you think it's a lot, but you know, there is that risk that I'll get shot. You know, so don't think you're doing me a big favor by giving me that money. I'm doing you a big favor by working for you. Because if I have $1 million and I'm dead, I can't use those $1 million.
Abdulrahman was in Bosnia in the fall of 2003 when news arrived of the military attack in Pakistan, which killed his father.
My reaction was, as my father, I love him, and I will always love him as my father, but not as what he did. But, you know, I've gone through so much that when they told me about it, I didn't even, you know, there was no reaction, there was no emotion. I don't know why, because I've seen so much people get killed in front of me in Afghanistan. So I've been through so much with, you know, I reacted with lots of people that totally no emotions were left.
Is it possible that you gave them any information which ended up in your father being killed?
No.
Why do you say
I didn't
that?
know anything about my father for 2 years. I didn't talk to him. I didn't communicate with him at all. So how could I know anything about him or where he was staying?
After his first week in Bosnia, Abdulrahman says that the CIA asked him to actually go into Iraq with Al-Qaeda forces so that he could provide information to the American military. They told him it would be dangerous.
They really trusted that I would do this for them. But really, when it later registered that you're going to be in a gunfight, you're going to be in the middle of the storm, do you understand what you're going through? And that's when I thought, you know what, stop this. This is a good time to stop.
Once he decided to get away from the CIA, Abdulrahman made a call to Toronto to his grandmother.
I said, is this Abdulrahman? He said, yes. Where are you? He said, I'm...
He told her that he desperately wanted to come back to Canada. He told her to tell the media that the Canadian government was not helping him.
He said, go anyway, we don't care about you.
Abdulrahman felt that going public with his story would force the Canadian government to allow him to return to Toronto. After the news about him broke in Canada, Abdulrahman says that he was brought to a CIA safe house in Sarajevo. He says the Americans agreed to let him go back to Canada, and he promised he would not tell anyone of his relationship with the agency. He says the CIA never paid him the promised monthly salary, that they took away his false Moroccan passport and then dropped him off at the Canadian embassy.